Good morning, everyone. Just making sure everybody can hear me. We're going to be using just a few props today. We're going to have a blanket for extra support and for the knees, and possibly blocks. So if you have either of those, if you want to go ahead and grab that now. And I'll give you just a few moments to do that. We'll start by just coming to a nice seated posture. So you can use your blanket to have a seat on. And the idea here is to allow the knees to be slightly lower than the hips. If that doesn't happen for you, it's okay. But it's a goal that we're working towards. A pillow works nicely as well. So start by grounding down through your sits bones and lifting up through the crown of your head, tucking the chin slightly. And we're here, breathing in and out through the nose. Beginning to notice the quality of the breath. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And not trying to change the breath here, just noticing whether or not the breath gets stuck at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale. Working towards a nice continuous flow in and out of the nose. From here, moving right into three-part breathing. On your next inhale, begin to fill your belly. Allow your rib cage to expand and notice the chest rise. Exhaling, chest lowers, ribs hug, gently drawing the navel toward the spine. Keep going here. Filling the lower, middle, and upper parts of the lungs. Exhaling, reversing upper, middle, lower parts of the lungs. As you move through your practice this morning, remembering that the breath is the main focus of the practice, all of your postures become secondary to the breath. On your next inhale, slowly blink the eyes open if they're not already open. And exhale one more time, chest, ribs, draw the navel in. On your next inhale, draw the shoulders really nice and close to the ears. And then exhale through the mouth and let them go. A few more times here. Inhale. Draw the shoulders back and down. On your next exhale, drop your chin to chest. A few neck circles here. Inhaling ear to shoulder. Exhaling to center and inhaling toward the other side. Keep going here, moving at your own pace with your own breath. Back to center. Inhale the head up, draw the shoulders back and down once more. From here, bring the hands together. Begin to rub the hands together vigorously, creating a little heat between the hands. And we're just going to drop head and hands, cupping the eyes here for just a moment. Allow that warmth to radiate around the eye sockets. And from here, just beginning to massage the forehead and the temple. Around the eye sockets. And the cheeks. The jawbone. Maybe even in front of and behind the ears. Moving into the neck. And release. Shake out the hands just a bit. And we'll move right into wrist circles. So again, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the hands together, interlace all fingers. Forearms should be nice and close together, best you can. And then we'll just start moving in one direction, warming up the wrist joint. Full circles all the way around here. Switching directions. Continuing to breathe. Moving through any cracking or popping that you hear. Inhale, press through the palms, round the shoulders. Exhale, release. Re-interlace your fingers behind you and press down through the tops of the hands. Lift up through the heart. Maybe look up if it feels good. Exhale, release the hands. Shake them out just a bit. Few shoulder rolls here. And let's go ahead and come, extend your legs out in front of you. You can move your blanket from here. Extend your legs out in front and begin to just lean back into the hands and start to shake out the leg bone from the hip socket. Lift up through the heart, maybe look up, maybe just look forward, whatever feels good. And then flexing and pointing the feet a few times. All right, from here we're going to make our way into staff posture. So you're going to scoop the hip bones back. We're here. You want your shoulders in line with the hips here. So if you find that you're rounding through the middle thoracic spine, you can grab your blanket and have a seat on your blanket, and that can help to lift the hips. And just notice how that feels to you if you want to try that. And then from here, our hands are next to hips, and we'll do a few ankle circles. Continue to breathe. And switch directions. One more time, lean back into the hands, shake it out. Point and flex the feet. And we're going to make our way into tabletop position. We're going to continue to use the blanket. We're coming into tabletop, and we're going to bring knees to the blanket, and that is just going to help to cushion the knees if you have any issues with the knees here. So we're coming to tabletop position. In tabletop, you want, you want your knees directly under the hip bones, wrists directly under the shoulders. And from here, we're just going to look towards the top of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, draw the navel toward the spine. So we're already creating that strength for the low back. Inhale. Exhale, allow the hips to sink back. Now from here, if you want to tuck the toes under, that's okay. So arms are nice and long. Maybe resting ears in between the arms. Inhale back to center. Look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink it back. 3 more times here. Take your time. Inhale back to center. So here we are, right back in that tabletop position. If you need to sit back and shake out the hands for a moment just to, or maybe even sit back and massage the wrists for just a moment, please take your time. And we don't want to feel any pain here. Just work to your capacity. I have a lot of tightness in my wrists, so I do a lot of we're going to turn the hands so that the fingertips are pointing out to either edge of your mat. Your wrists are still under your shoulders, and we're just going to rock a little side to side. Continue to breathe. Continue to look towards the top of your mat. Now, if you feel like you can take this a little further, you can even bring hands a little closer together and continue with the same movement here. All right. So from here, we're going to turn the fingertips towards the knees. All right. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, sink the hips back. And you don't have to come all the way down. We're just looking to allow the heel of the hand to sort of pop up just a bit. Inhale, center. Let's do this 3 times, so take your time. And turn your hands, fingertips pointing back towards the top of your mat. Sit back on your heels. Shake out the hands. Give a little love to the wrist joint. And from here, while we're seated back on the heels, go ahead and interlace your fingers, and you're just going to start to pull the hands away from each other. So you're pulling on your fingers and pulling the joints away from each other, creating a little space. If you have any arthritis in your hands and fingers, then this can feel very good and it can be very helpful to you. It may not feel super good at first, but continue to breathe through. All right, shake it out once more. And we're going to make our way back into tabletop. So here we are in tabletop once more. Look towards the top of your mat. Check your alignment here. Knees just under the hips, wrists directly under the shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide for a good energy flow here. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, draw the navel in. We're going to step the left foot back this time. And we're just going to make a few circular movements with the heel. Breathe. We'll just move in one direction here for just a moment. And opposite direction. Bring that left knee down. If you need to sit back on your heels and show some love to the hands and wrists, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and step back with the with the right foot this time, and circular motions here. Continue to breathe. Opposite direction. Bring that right knee back down to your mat. Sit back on your heels. Shake out the hands. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. All right, so we're back in that tabletop position. And from here, we're going to lift the left knee. Look towards the top of your mat. We're flexing the foot, and we're just going to make some circular movements with the knee in one direction. And the opposite direction. Bring that knee back down. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Lift the right knee. And circular motions on this side. So you're flexing through the heel, flexing the foot. Maybe 5 circles in each direction. And bring it back down. Maybe sink the hips back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale, center. One more time, sink it back. Inhale, back to center. All right, so continuing in this tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. You're still looking towards the top of your mat. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. Hips are directly under the knees. Sorry, knees are directly under the hips. Wrists directly under the shoulders. Inhale this time, so you can step this left foot back and keep the ball of your foot on your mat if you like. Or you can start to inhale, lift, and extend the leg. So you're extending through the heel, breathing, every exhale, drawing the navel in. Exhale, bring that left knee back down to the mat. On your next inhale, pressing through the ball of the right foot, you can keep the foot down if you like, or you can start to lift that leg, extend through the heel, flex through the foot, breathing here. Every exhale, drawing the navel in. Exhale, bring that knee back down. A few times, sinking the hips back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sink it back. One more time. Sink the hips back towards the heels. Sit up on the heels and shake out the hands once more. This time we're going to alternate. We're going to do opposite limb extensions. So you're going to come back into that tabletop position. Check your alignment. Spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to step the left foot back. And again, you can keep the ball of the foot on the floor, or you can extend through the heel. Inhale. A few times, sinking the hips back. Inhale, center. Sink the hips back. Inhale, center. One more time, sink it back. Inhale, center. And this time we'll do the opposite side. So again, looking towards the top of your mat. Step the right foot back this time. Ball of the foot is on your mat, unless you want to extend the leg and flex through the heel. On your next inhale, reaching, extending the left arm, reaching for the opposite wall with the fingertips. Keep your gaze towards your mat, drawing the navel in on each exhale. And release. Inhale here at center. Exhale, sink it back. A few more times. One more time here. And we're back in that tabletop position. If you need to stop at any point to rub out the wrist joint or the hands, feel free. Inhale here at center. Exhale, draw the navel in. You're looking towards the top of your mat. Step the left foot back. Keep the ball of your foot on your mat. Inhale, extend through the right arm. And this time, extending through the heel. And we're going to 3 times draw knee to elbow. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. One more time, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee and hand back to your mat. A few times, exhale, sink the hips back. Inhale, center. Sink it back. Inhale, center. One more time, sink it back. Inhale, back to center. Let's do the other side. Step the right foot back this time. Extend through the left arm, through the left fingertips, through the right heel. When you're ready, 3 times. Inhale here at center. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, place the knee and hand back to your mat. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale, center. One more time, sink it back. Inhale, back to center. From here, if you'd like to try, tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and begin to press the hips back into downward facing dog. So in your first downward facing dog, look towards your navel and keep a nice deep bend in the knees. If your heels don't reach the floor, that's okay. Breathe for 5. and the tip of your forehead on your mat. We're back into a nice extended child's pose here. Take a moment. Inhale, look between the hands. Reach for the top of your mat here. Exhale, allow the ears to sink in between the arms here. So your arms are nice and long and extended. We're stretching the side body here. On your next inhale, look between the hands and start to walk the hands over to the left. Exhale, allow the ears to fall in line with the arms. Breathing into the side body here. Inhale, look between the hands. Walk your way back to center. Exhale, sink it back. Arms are still extended and long, ears in line with your arms. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, look between the hands. Start to walk the hands over to the right side. Exhale, ears in line with arms. Opening up the left side of the body. Breathing. Inhale, look between the hands. Start to walk your way back towards the center of your mat. You're reaching for the top of your mat here. On your next inhale, come back into that tabletop. You're going to actually find yourself in a modified plank. So your knees are on your mat. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. You're looking towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Keep breathing here, nice strong belly. One more breath. Exhale, sink the hips back. Arms are still extended here. You're continuing to reach for the top of your mat. Take a breath. Inhale back into that modified plank. And you can stay here, or you can tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and come into a nice full plank position. Nice straight line from heel to tip of the head. Breathing. Release the knees, untuck your toes, press the hips back. Breathe. Inhale, look between the hands, continuing to reach for the top of your mat. On your next inhale, come back into that modified plank. Again, you can stay here if you like. Breathing. Nice strong arms. Don't let the belly hang here. Continuing to draw that navel in on each exhale. If you want to tuck the toes under and lift the knees, maybe come here into a nice full plank for 3 more breaths. Exhale, drop the knees, press the hips back. Slide the hands down beside the knees, and on your next inhale, start to roll yourself back up. One vertebrae at a time, head will come up last. A few shoulder rolls here. Give a little love to the hands and wrists. And from here, we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. You can move your blanket out of the way. So we're going to come to the top of the mat with knees bent. I'm going to use a block, but you're welcome to use a pillow or anything that feels good under your sacrum. So we're going to come here with knees bent. Grab behind your knees. Notice that the feet are hip distance apart, so that's hips, knees, and ankles. Sit up nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lean back into the hands. Tuck your tailbone and make your way onto your back. Go ahead and draw the knees to chest for just a moment. Your neck is nice and long on your mat. Head is relaxed. Give a few side-to-side movements with the knees, and maybe even a few knee circles. In both directions, of course. All right. Bringing feet back to your mat. Again, paying careful attention that your hip bones, knees, and ankles are in line with each other. You're going to have your block or your blanket next to you. Arms down by your sides. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale as you press your low ribs into the mat. So we're drawing the shoulder blades together. Heart stays nice and open. Inhale. Exhale, press your low ribs gently into the mat. On your next inhale, you're going to press into your heels and lift your hips. So careful to not allow the knees to splay open. You want your knees to stay in line with your hip bones. Grab your block or your pillow or blanket and just place it right under the sacrum. Block at lowest height. Drop the hips here. And keep the knees bent. Maybe resting hands on the belly for just a moment. We're going to just take a few breaths here. Allow your hips to be nice and heavy. Allow them to be fully supported by the block here. Extending that exhale, allowing that exhale to be slightly longer than your inhale. From here, bringing hands to goalpost position, or even extending arms directly overhead, whichever feels good to you. A few more breaths here. Exhale, bring your arms back down by your sides. On your next inhale, press into your heels, lift your hips, remove your blanket, pillow, or block, place it beside of you, and make your way back down onto the back. Try to come down one vertebrae at a time if you can. Inhale once you make it down. Exhale, draw the knees in. Make your way over onto the side body. Press your way back up to seated. We're making our way back into a nice seated posture here. If you want to use a blanket or block under your seat. Hands in meditation mudra, that's stacking the hands one on top of the other, bringing tips of the thumbs together, lifting up through the crown, chin is tucked slightly. Few deep inhales, and then exhales through the mouth here. Bringing hands together at heart center. Thank you all so much for sharing your yoga practice with me this morning. Have a great week. Namaste.